What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube/podcast. And today I'm going to talk about why you are going to fail at achieving your goals this year in 2022.
Everything starts with our thoughts. Thoughts dictate our beliefs, which then dictate the way we treat and view the world, which then becomes our repeated being. And that is our personality, which then is our personal reality.
All right, so I don't really mean to be so harsh, but in reality, it's February, and I guarantee you that 90% of people have already failed or given up on their goals.
You're mean.
So I'm going to talk about the science behind that and what you can do to actually change the way you do things and the way you approach your goals. So whether you're listening audibly or you're watching visually, my goal is the same, and I'm here to bring freedom out of overcoming the human default.
I want my freedom.
So let's get into it. So if you're watching this, then you're more than likely really wondering what you can do to better yourself in actually achieving your goals.
Yes, I am. 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 Yes, I am.
So for me, one of the biggest things that I had to really understand is the way I see goals. And this book right here really explains it. Atomic Habits. I 110% recommend it. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of what's talked about in this book when we talk about the way we create habits, the way we do things to achieve goals. So when it comes to achieving your goals and creating habits around that, there's 3 layers that come with that. So the first layer being, I'm going to draw here on the screen, is your outcomes. Then the second layer being your processes. And then your center layer being your identity. So we got identity, we got processes, and then we have outcomes. So there's 2 ways of doing this, right? There's a way of being able to understand what your outcome is and then putting in place processes to then feel whatever it is you want to feel within your identity, right? Whether it's, I want to read 12 books a year and I'm going to read 1 book a month, and that's going to be my process. And then therefore, I'm going to be then officially a reader. I'm going to be a connoisseur, right, of books, and I can attach that to my identity. So people do that, and then they go from outcome to identity. That's the way they do things, right? So that's called outcome-based habits, versus what you want to do is identity-based habits, which is actually the opposite. You start from the in and you build out, right? So identity-based habit, what is that? Is that you start with your identity versus trying to then construct your identity after you feel like you've achieved your goal. Because in reality, we as human beings, that our pride is pretty powerful. So if we attach something to our identity, it actually sticks a lot longer.
That's how that works.
So you can't start a habit and make plans, but not change who you are. It's not really gonna affect you that much. You're gonna start a habit based off motivation because it feels good in the moment, and because, oh, this sounds like a cool idea. Like, yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym every single day for the rest of the year, or I'm gonna do this because you're motivated in the moment. But then it fades, doesn't stick. The only way to make your habit stick is actually attaching it to your identity.
Here's your new identity.
So the goal isn't to read a book. The goal is to be a reader. The goal isn't to go to the gym. The goal is to be an athlete. The goal isn't to start a business, but instead be a business owner. So the deeper a thought or action is tied to a belief, the harder it is to shake or break. Now there's a really good side and a really bad side. So it's a double-sided coin. And one side can completely, destroy us, and the other side can actually propel us. So the word identity actually derives from 2 Latin words, essentitas and identitam.
Say what?
One meaning being and the other one meaning repeatedly. So your identity is actually your repeated being. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. So you might be thinking, what do I need to do in order to actually change this? How do I actually achieve my goals? Like, I'm tired of not hitting my goals or always setting New Year resolutions and not even being nearly done with it. But I'm here to tell you there's a solution. And that solution is very simple. It's a 2-step process. And it's actually a lot easier said than done. But if you actually take this to heart and actually implement it, I guarantee you'll start to see things differently within your goals, and you'll be able to do more than you've ever thought possible.
Show me the way.
So the first one being is that honestly, you just have to really decide the person you want to become. It really is, again, a lot easier said than done, but you have to take the time out, take a couple hours out of your day, really sit down and really ask yourself some important questions like, who do I want to become? Like, who do I want to be seen as? What do I want to be achieving? What kind of life do I want to be living? Who do I want to be living that life with? Like, what is the type of lifestyle that I'll have on a daily basis? You got to think about, who is it that you want to become? Who am I? And then from there, you then start to rewire the way you do things. And everything that you do, again, is a vote for the person you want to become. And you have to decide that you're already that person beforehand. And that's kind of where it comes in, where you tie in that person with your identity. So you not only are going to be that person, but you actually are currently that person. And that's why when you make decisions, you're actually voting every single time to then work towards and chip at being closer and closer to that lifestyle and that person that you want to become. And the second one is really just proving yourself. And that kind of goes in with what I was just saying with your decisions. You got to prove it to yourself with wins, right? And I'm not saying that you got to be perfect. You got to be always making these right decisions. Like, we tend to always either want to strive for absolute perfection or not at all.
Everything has to be perfect.
And that's something that I had to deal with, and I'll actually be talking about that here in a couple episodes from now, about perfection and how it actually is the issue and it causes procrastination. But the goal isn't to always be perfect, but the goal is to actually win the majority of times, meaning in the issues where you see yourself wanting to watch TV rather than work out or do whatever it is you need to do that task, not just give in and be lazy. You are aware of what you're doing, right? The best way to do it, in my opinion, is to really set yourself up for success. So if you're an alcoholic, you're not gonna go walk around into, a liquor store. You're not gonna set yourself up for failure. You wanna be able to set yourself up to actually take the day on. Like in the morning, if you can't wake up, or like if you see yourself hitting the snooze button, put your phone or get an alarm clock that's like $20 and put it on the other side of the room. So you actually have to physically get up. You can do things to actually set yourself up for success. For me, like, I try to work out every single morning at 6 a.m. So what I do is the night prior, I pack my bag for the gym and I leave it by the door. So all I have to do is get up, brush my teeth, grab my bag and go. So I don't have to wake up, get ready, all these things, and actually have more obstacles in the way for me to want to stay home or want to stay in bed. So there's ways to set yourself up, but you just need to actually strategically place them. So that's the last step, and I hope this was a lot of value to you. I mean, I'm going to be making more of these videos, so comment, like, subscribe. Feel free to hit me up if you have any comments or if you want to discuss any type of topics. I am more than willing to be wrong or be enlightened about anything, so feel free to share, and I appreciate the support, and I'll catch you on the next episode.